Is it worth going to culinary school, such as the CIA? You're about to graduate and you're not sure if it's worth going. And you're asking the question, maybe it's worth just going to a restaurant and seeing if you're actually interested in being in the industry. Sound about right? I'm Chef Nicholas Kinnear, and if this is the first time you meeting me, then you should know this. I've been in the industry for at least 16 years now. I've worked at 3 different kinds of Michelin star restaurants and hotels, and I've owned my own 6-figure business. If you haven't already, click that like button. If you haven't figured out already, it's 2019 and intuition for the Culinary Institute of America costs about $39,000 and $762. Like right now. Where 5 years ago, it was about $26,640. Meaning it's gone up by 33%. In that time frame, it has gone up 6.880% every year. That's right. Then there's some of you, and you hear this all the time. I'm gonna save up for the year and go work at a place before I go to college or before I go to school. Well, if there's some of you that are saying that, I hope that you actually go in the industry and stay in it, because you're already making the right decision, because you're not spending your money. Because you realize you won't need the schooling in this industry. But for some of you that want to do that, you want to hear this. The wage growth has only gone up in the last 5 years by 1.3% compared to the 33% in the intuition. Wow. And we haven't even talked about loans yet, which most of you that are watching most likely have to go and get a loan unless you're really relentless at getting scholarships. You should know there's at least 3 types of loans out there. So the first one would be private loans. And private loans can change dramatically in interest based on what your credit score is. And that's not even mentioning if you have a cosigner. So for example, by using the average score, what majority of Americans have for their credit score, it is about 709. And if you have just you that's doing it without a cosigner, your percent will be 9.31%. And now with a cosigner, it will be 6.15% in interest, which you'll definitely want to have a cosigner because the interest rate is insane. Then you have the federal loan, which depends on how much you're actually borrowing for. So if you're doing, which most of you guys will be doing this, the undergrad loan, which would be 2 years. And if there's some of you will want to do the graduate loan, which is about 4 years. The graduate loan is about 5.05%, but when you're doing it longer, you actually have a high percentage, which comes out to be 6.60%. Then there's going to be some of you that have no credit history, so you might be just forced to do what's called a plus loan, which has the highest interest out of every loan out there if you don't have that cosigner for the private loans, is about 7.60%. Now, what that means is, and depending on what contract you actually sign, it could be from quarterly, monthly, or annually, which is most of the loans out there. How the interest works, if you're going by annually, it's going to cost you from the total amount that you owe. So for example, using the highest one, 7.60%, which most of you would do the undergrad, which is 2 years, which ends up to be this price, timesing 7.60% to find the percentage of what you're going to owe in interest in the end of the year if you haven't paid it back. If you're taking 5 years, 10 years, it's going to add up pretty quickly. And as for the rest of the loans, this is what it's going to be. We haven't even mentioned how much will you get paid in the cooking industry when you get out of school. The average cook that gets paid in America is about $11.79. Now, that depends about what state you go into. If you're in bigger cities, yes, you can get paid. And if you're going to bigger hotels and higher quality, restaurants, absolutely you can get paid more, but we're going based on the average. So pretending that, let's say you get 80 hours every week times 2, because that's the month, times 12 ends up to be, let's just round it to about $22,000, because a lot of the times you will get cut on a slow day. So in about like 5 years, you're gonna finally see a return in your investment. That's right. So it's gonna take you 5 years to pay that off. If you are paying this relentlessly and you're taking half your paycheck or more, and you're probably eating ramen noodles for the next 5 years after you already did ramen noodles at school for the first 2 years. So for 7 years, you're eating like crap. Now, some of you are probably saying, well, wait a second, can't I become a chef when I get out? Yeah, some of you might become a chef, but that's pretty rare. But majority of you will be cooks because you all have to start at the bottom. Yes, you got your fundamentals, but you haven't got the life experience. You haven't even figured out your stress levels. You don't know how to handle your efficiencies, your timings. Even if you're able to like survive the industry. All of these major factors, yes, it's a lot of risk what you're doing right here. Now, what I'm about to say is from my own experience, and it's based on my opinion, okay? So you can take it to a grain of salt, but I'm just telling you from my life experience as being a chef. Here's the thing, I haven't met many great chefs that have come from CIA. And a lot of chefs that I've met in the industry have the same opinion as well. I would strongly suggest if you're gonna do this and save yourself some time and money, and if you wanna still continue, then go to a tech school and get more of that experience, the fundamentals are put in place for you so you can survive the industry and thrive in their environment. And this is what I did. I went to a tech school. I even had 2 jobs. Even we get off at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then because I didn't have that much time, I would end up going to my school, parking my car, sleeping in my car at times, and at times, every once in a while, I actually would have to pull an all-nighter. Yes, I know, I'm insane, but I have a lot of passion for this industry. And how much I paid for this at the time, which was back in 2007, was $4K all in general in the 2 years that I was there, which was all paid for through scholarships. And I even actually sent a letter to the Rotary Club, which was one of the big scholarships I got, and said thank you. They gave me another scholarship for the following year to pay off the second year I was in culinary school. Which brings me to this part. Click the like button if this was very informative for you. This helps more than you know with the algorithm. So please click that like button. And if you haven't already, which is free, subscribe. I'm Chef Nicholas Kinnear. All I want to do is give you the information, lay it on the table for you so you can make your own financial decisions and see what's best fit for you. And at the end of the day, I just want you to know that all the sources are in the links down below in the description. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm happy to help. I hang out in Quora, answer a lot of people's questions in that area. I'm the only chef on Quora that actually answers questions in video, so you'll probably see me and you're like, I know that guy. Anyway, peace.